to a Green Beret about what you think next happens in Afghanistan. President Trump was talking about downsizing too. Joe Biden will definitely downsize. What do you think the consequences are going to be to the people that you worked with so closely?
Well, I think we can downsize or right size the mission, but at the end of the day, with half of the world's terrorist organizations still there, with Al Qaeda's number two still out there, who was Osama bin Laden's number two, now number one, fully intending to attack the United States again if they get the chance. What we cannot do is do what Obama did in Iraq, which is just completely withdraw, pull everybody out, despite those still very dangerous groups, and then allow them to come back again. Remember when Obama pulled out of Iraq in 2011, we ended up getting ISIS marching across the Middle East. At one point, had an economy the size of Austria, attacks across Europe, and inspiring attacks across the United States. Then we have to fight our way back in. In the case of Afghanistan, what we don't have there is any other bases to do that from, like we did in Iraq after Obama left them all. We still had other countries that we could go back into. In Afghanistan, look at the map. We have China, Russia, Iran, and Pakistan. We really don't have any other options. So my fear is that this administration, the Biden administration, pushes towards what they're calling a power sharing agreement, which basically we will dissolve the freely elected Afghan parliament and government, share power with the Taliban. The plan calls for us to put a 300,000 man Afghan army that we've spent years, lives, and billions of dollars building under the control, at least partially, of the Taliban. And if Al Qaeda comes roaring back again, like it did in Iraq, Hugh, then where are we? We don't have a local ally. We don't have any bases. And here's the part that's really disturbing. We'll have to mother may I the Taliban for basing overflight and other authorities to go back after Al Qaeda again, which the intelligence community is loud and clear in saying we're going to have to do. So, first rule in diplomacy is do no harm. But I think right now we're on the verge of making the situation far, far worse.
Now, during your time on active duty, you'd go back and forth from the Pentagon, Vice President Cheney's counterterrorism expert,
Right.
into uniform and put your Green Beret on, go back. You worked with the Afghan army, you worked with the Afghan police force. In Warrior Diplomat, some are better than others, some aren't any good at all, and some are brave, extraordinarily
Absolutely.
brave.
Yeah.
So, are they ready to do it on their own if there is no deal with the Taliban? I mean, Secretary Pompeo was trying to get a deal too. If there is no deal, can they stand up to the Taliban?
Well, I think they can do so with a small amount of advisors and with a continued funding support. Remember, Hugh, South Vietnam, it's not a perfect analogy, but South Vietnam didn't fall when we pulled our troops out. South Vietnam fell when the Congress got frustrated, didn't know where the money was going in terms of supporting their military, and then pulled the funding. That's when things collapsed. Same thing after the Soviets pulled out of Afghanistan. It was only when the Russian government pulled their funding back that government collapsed. So I don't see how the Congress continues to support the Afghan military forces without our advisors there to oversee those funds, to make sure they're being used in the right way, and to continue to assist the Afghan military. Look, another analogy I use is the South Korean army had a higher illiteracy rate than the Afghan army in the 1950s. And look at where it is today, but look at how we are still 70 years later working alongside them. And I think as long as we have this terrorist threat, we will have a small presence there. We'll have to. What I don't want to do is pull it all out and then have to fight our way back in and lose even more American lives because of a bad policy decision.